Web services allow two computers to communicate and exchange data, and I use the term computer loosely. You can have smartphones communicate with web servers, or have web servers communicate with a mainframe, but for many years when someone talked about web services, you generally assumed they were talking about SOAP, SOAP-based web services. If you've never heard of SOAP, that's okay. It's not important to know what it is for this module, but generally speaking, .NET developers have been using Windows Communication Foundation, or WCF, to implement SOAP-based web services over the last few years. And one of the goals of WCF was to abstract away the underlying transport technology used to exchange messages in a web service transaction. WCF and the SOAP specification didn't want you to know if you were using HTTP or MSMQ or sending binary data over TCP sockets. But over the last few years, some web service implementations have been moving away from SOAP and that transport agnosticism, and instead building web services that embrace HTTP. Because it turns out HTTP is a flexible protocol that works very well on the internet, where most of us communicate. HTTP messages can be cached, they can travel through firewalls, they're lightweight, they can be processed by processors on mobile devices, they can be encrypted, and best of all, nearly every programming environment in the world offers some capability to send and receive HTTP messages. SOAP-based web services generally required a toolkit and more processing power. HTTP is everywhere, it's lightweight, and you can use it to exchange information with big servers as well as small devices like mobile phones. So faced with this shift in web services, the Windows Communication Foundation team at Microsoft began working on a new framework that is now a part of ASP.NET and is called Web API. The idea is that WCF is still a great technology when you're writing enterprise services and can use toolkits, but the Web API is going to be more focused on being lightweight, highly interoperable, and using HTTP all the way.